Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 136, and yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. I want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So episode number 135 was the Darren Young interview. It was not held here on Wrestling Rumors Facebook Live, as it was actually done after the last show that we held here. It was my conversation with a former WWE superstar, and if you haven't checked it out, please do so. It was a very fun interview. Darren Young is an amazing cat. Great interview, great guy. Got some big things ahead of him. That dude's got a whole career ahead of him, man, and good person too. So if you haven't checked out that interview, please give it a listen. It was very fun. But now it's time to get back to business here on Facebook Live. That's right, we're representing. We got Cactus on today, Mick Foley on the shirt. We're ready to roll. Let's do this, folks. This time the main event is WWE's return to Saudi Arabia, Lio Rush, and more. That's right, folks. The two biggest stories, in my estimation, of the week in the world of WWE. What's up out there, folks? Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're going to do our customary hellos. And see, so Lance has already hit me with the mystery guy in NJPW going after Juice. All right, listen, man, I'm not sure. I was watching back New Japan this morning, or watching New Japan show from last night as I was writing. So honestly, I was kind of looking up and down the whole time. So I'm going to have to rewind and catch that, but I'm not really sure who that is, but I'm interested now. Let's see. Earl, I heard about the Authors of Pain. We're supposed to be renamed The Legion of Doom 2. Earl, I would be shocked if they did that. I mean, first of all, you would need Animal's Blessing and Paul Ellering, I would think. And I would think that, plus it's just kind of tasteless, in my opinion. Hello, Andrew in Utah. Wolverhampton, UK. Man, you guys have like the coolest names for cities and counties over there, don't you? What do you think of Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse? I think it's a bit creepy and a bit weird, but I think I'm going to reserve judgment on whether or not I like it or love it or hate it or want more of it to see how it plays out. But thank you for tuning in. Holla, Jen, what's up? How are you, my dear? Welcome back to the show. Wade says, Lio Rush thinking he's too good for WWE. Your thoughts? We're going to get... You guys want to jump in? Because we can go ahead and do that. We don't necessarily have to go in order. Hello, Thomas in Memphis, Tennessee. Bang, bang. That's right. So, you guys want to go ahead and jump to Lio Rush? We can do that first, then we can hit WWE's return to Saudi Arabia. Does that sound good for you folks? Sounds good to me. Hello, Pamela. Good afternoon to you as well. Hello, Andy. Welcome back to the show. Let's see. Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. What's up, Mitchell? Welcome back. Or welcome to the show. Yeah, John Moxley. How did I forget John Moxley? Okay, there's 3 huge stories this week. Jen says Lio Rush is a big ball of suck and she's sorry. I don't think you're sorry for that, Jen, but it's okay if you're not. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Okay, so let's talk about Lio, then we can get into Saudi Arabia and John Moxley. Folks, don't let me forget about Moxley here, all right? So let's do this, folks. Lio Rush is currently on the sidelines of WWE. He supposedly is a very unhappy cat right now because he doesn't think he's making enough money. He's not high enough on the card. He's not getting enough attention. He's got the big boo-boo face. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard a wrestler on any company, on any level, that has been happy with where they are, how much money they're making, and whether or not to get enough spotlight? Come on, folks. This is something a pro wrestler does. Now, I'm not going to get into the brass tacks at this moment of whether or not he is justified in his beliefs and his feelings. Tom, his feelings is hurt, Tom. He's just, oh my God. Okay, well, listen, Lio, if that is your real name, dude, look, I can't speak for Lio Rush. I'm not in his shoes, okay? I can't presume to know what life on the road is like in WWE because I'm not on the road with WWE. I can only tell you from a fan's perspective, way over here in North Carolina, what I think of this. You're asking. That's my job, is to analyze and process and deliver the message. So here's the message to you I have. A lot of other guys have been through this, and women, and a lot of other people have been through this over the years, and will continue to go through it long after Leo's gone, and long after we're gone. Hopefully the business continues to thrive in the future. So what we want, yes? Okay, good. So it's going to continue going on. There is such a thing as a pecking order, folks. You know who you are when you get to WWE, unless you're AJ Styles, and a couple of other exceptions. To them, you're just there. You just got there. What? Okay, so you have to, I don't want to say work your way up, but you got to earn your keep. You got to get up to that level, okay? And for someone like Lio Rush, Leo's very good in the ring. He's good on the mic. You're not The Rock, dude. You're not Stone Cold, dude. Come on, right? So does he have a point? I'm sure he does. I'm not going to belittle his situation or make fun of him and say he's wrong or anything like that. I don't know his situation. It's his wife. It's his life. It's whatever. Perfectly fine. And I learned a long time ago, if you don't speak up in this life for yourself, no one's going to do it for you. So if you don't speak up for yourself, no one's going to. You get it? So I have no issue with him sticking up for himself. As I've told you folks multiple times in the past, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times now, folks. Never side with a billion-dollar company against the wrestler. It's a bad look and it's a bad idea. Does it mean the wrestler's always right? No, obviously not. But I just think it's bad taste to automatically assume that the billion-dollar company is right, okay? I would always side with the wrestler first, and that's just how I roll. If you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine, but that's how I roll on this end, folks. So, yeah, okay, I'm not going to take the side against Lio Rush. I'll tell you what I think, and I don't know how this is going to play out, but a lot of other people are talking as well, folks. And if you've not read my column I published on Wrestling Rumors this morning, please go check it out. Mark Henry on Busted Open, SiriusXM's Busted Open, had a lot to say about the situation. He claims he reached out, actually pulled Leo aside physically backstage and said, I'm hearing stuff. Is everything okay? And Leo said, everything's fine. Mark feels that he lied to his face, a blatant lie, okay? Mark went on to say that, listen, if you don't have enough money to pay for, hotels and car rental, that's your fault. You're probably overspending. You're spending more than you're making. You're spending as fast as you're taking in. That's your fault. Don't blame the company for that. And, Mark also countered what Leo said and said that, you have to show respect. You have to show humility. That Yokozuna was Mark Henry's responsibility back in the day. That's a huge responsibility, pun intended, okay? So, and for Leo to be upset because he's carrying someone's bag or getting a bottle of water. And Mark Henry also told the story of when Jericho jumped from WCW to WWE, that his match came on after his one night, and as Mark was passing him back through the curtain, Jericho had 3 bottles of water, one for himself, the guy he wrestled, and the referee of the match, because he was showing respect. I can tell you this, more often than not, when I showed up to a pro wrestling show when I was involved, and I walked through that locker room, first thing you do is you shake the hand of every guy there, look them in the eye, and shake their hand. That's kind of a rule of thumb that you do. It's what I did. It's what we all did back in the day. And then I always had a bottle of water or two to go to the promoter with. Usually I knew the promoter. He booked me. He invited me, so I'd hand him a bottle of water. I didn't know if he had one or not. It didn't matter to me because it's just the right thing to do, okay? And Leo, in my estimation, in my humble opinion, just me talking, has kind of missed the point of the ethics and the business professional wrestling. Does that mean he's getting hazed? I saw the word hazed this morning on Twitter. Folks, I don't think he's claiming that he's getting beaten up and thrown into a locker or something like in high school. I don't think he's claiming that, okay? And I don't think this is racial at all. Even Mark Henry said that it's not about race, it's about ego with this guy. This is Mark Henry's words, dude. You take it and roll with it, man. Whatever. It's fine with me. But I'm just letting you know that's where he's coming down at. Now, is Mark Henry a company guy? Yeah. Okay. But does that mean he's siding with WWE over Leo? Not necessarily. Okay. So be careful if you decide to attack Mark Henry. You can, I guess. But if you decide to, ease up a little bit and try to look at it from both sides. That's all I'm saying. Yep. Kathy, thank you. Show respect. Get respect. There you go. Dave launched a UK-based wrestling podcast this week. That's so cool. Dave, congrats, man. Hey, listen, man, if you ever want a guest, I don't know much about current British wrestling, but I'd be more than happy to talk about stuff if you're interested. I'm not inviting myself, dude. Not inviting myself, but if you're interested, maybe we could talk some point. We could maybe hook something up. Work out the time, work out the schedule. If that's good for you, let me know what you think, man. Let's see. Why didn't Lio Rush negotiate? Okay, so supposedly, thank you, Shane. Supposedly, they offered him, was it $300,000? I don't know if the number's right or not, dude. I don't even remember what the number supposedly was. I haven't caught up on that part of the supposed story at this point. But listen, after what he came out and said, if you're WWE, let's just cut ties with him. It doesn't mean you got defeated. It doesn't mean it puts a bad face on Vince McMahon or anything crazy like that. It just means it's probably time to go. If this guy feels he can do better, let him go do better somewhere else, okay? If he thinks he can make a better living in AEW or the NWA or Ring of Honor or New Japan, then let him go do that. You know what I'm saying? He can make money in the independent circuit. He can get booked probably just about anywhere he wants to. I don't think he's rubbed anybody the wrong way. But I will say this. How many other pro wrestling locker rooms that run it traditional is he going to be offended in? Is he going to be upset in? What if he gets to Ring of Honor and he sees the young boys, like in New Japan, carrying the bags and stuff? And by the way, I made this point in the column. Please go read it on Wrestling Rumors. Yes, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Talk about being offended. Talk about pulling your own weight. Dude. The Young Lion program in New Japan, the young boys, let me tell you what life is like for the young boys at New Japan, dude. You want to be a star in New Japan Pro Wrestling? You're going to live at the dojo. I mean, live at the dojo. You're probably going to sleep on the floor. The floor is like 30 mattresses. Ask Juice Robinson, he'll tell you. Okay, you're probably going to sleep on the floor. You're going to do the laundry. You're going to carry bags. You're going to cook. You're going to serve the food. Okay, because that's what you do. It teaches you humility and respect, okay? You come up the right way. So when you get to that top tier and you're making a ton of freaking crazy money, you've not lost your wits, okay? Your head is still straight, screwed on, perfect to the rest of your body, and everything's all good, okay? But when you come into WWE and you're like, that guy's got a great body, book him. Next thing you know, you're world champion in 6 months. All right. What have you really learned? What have you learned about humility and respect? Probably not much of anything, okay? I'm just saying. You can look at me and say that style is antiquated, it's ridiculous, it's too old-fashioned. Go with God, I suppose. If that's what you want to believe it. I happen to believe the opposite. I believe it's the right way to come up in the business. That's just me talking, okay? Yeah, Jim, you're right. Not the WWE Performance Center, but Jim, to your point, I mean, you know how long it takes to get up the ranks, and how many people have we seen from the Performance Center fizzle out on the WWE's main roster, whether it was WWE booking or by their own hand? I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying that New Japan's way is better, but I'm saying there's some credence. I lend credence to the way they do things, folks. I really do. And I think it's a valid way of doing business. And honestly, I'm telling you right now, if Lio ends up in another company that does business anywhere similar to the way New Japan does with the Young Lion program, he's going to be upset as well. Hello, Toby. What's up? Amos, yes. I'm sorry if I didn't get your name right. Lio Rush just needs to shut up and do what they ask. I'm not going to say that. Dude's got his own mind. As we said before, he's got to do what's best for him. Lance is asking, how will Velveteen Dream do when he gets called up? I think it depends on what they want to do with him, Lance. How well they want to do with him. If they want him to be a star, he'll be a star. Because he can be. Some guys can't be. Some guys can't be a star. We don't all want to hear that. Pardon the cough drop. We don't all want to hear that our favorites can't be stars. But not everybody can be Stone Cold, guys. You guys know that, right? Not everyone can be a star. Not everyone should be elevated to that point. Because they just don't have it. Doesn't mean I hate on anyone. Doesn't mean I hate on Lio Rush. Dude, come on. You know what I'm saying? And can they surprise you? Sure. Anyone can surprise you anytime they want to. But not everyone can be a star. And if anyone tells you that they can, they're wrong. We've seen what happens when they multiple runs to the top. You know, all these different guys. What ends up happening? 50-50 booking, which is what we have now. You don't really have losers. Like you know, Kurt Hawkins, I guess, but no one really cared that he was losing until the company told you he was losing all the time. No one really cared. And then all of a sudden it became an emphasis because they had a plan down the road, right? What I'm saying is not everyone can be Hogan and Rock and Austin. There's no way. Because if everyone can compete for the title, then that means the title probably doesn't mean much anymore, right? I guess I'm old school. I guess I'm old fashioned. I don't know. That's me. Let's see. Are they really going with Brock as champ again versus Goldberg? Toby, bite your tongue clean out of your head, dude. I don't want to see it. Would I be surprised? Nope. Not at all. We can always come back to the Lio Rush thing if you guys want to. How about we segue a little bit into Saudi Arabia? Yeah, so here's the press release from WWE this week. The Saudi General Sports Authority, in partnership with WWE, or as Michael Cole would say it, WWE. Did you catch that? It's infuriating, isn't it? Yeah, to me too. Will host an event at the King Abdullah Sports City, not to be confused with the Butcher, or maybe it should be, in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on Friday, June 7th at 8 p.m. Arabian Standard Time. The event will feature WWE superstars Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Kofi Kingston, Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, Goldberg, what? AJ Styles, and Brock Lesnar, and stream live on WWE Network. Okay. The return of Goldberg. You know what, Stefan? I don't think I've ever had hot tea. This has got nothing to do with anything we're talking about, folks. Nothing at all. I gave up sweet tea. I live in the South, okay? I gave up sweet tea 10 years ago or better. You know why? Because that stuff will kill you. It's a true story. I gave it all up, okay? I don't drink sodas. I barely drink diet soda anymore. It's all water. I might put like a little flavoring in it, but that's it, right? But yeah, I go for some hot tea. I give it a shot. And coffee. I got to have my coffee, by the way. Let's don't forget that. Where were we? Oh yes, Goldberg coming back. Hasn't worked a match since WrestleMania 33 in 2017. If I can spit that out in one take. Yeah, man, 2 years that the guy's been there. Has shown no signs of wanting to return that we know, at least not publicly. And then all of a sudden, he's booked for the Saudi Arabia show, which they haven't named. I don't know if it's going to be another. It won't be Crown Jewel because Crown Jewel was in June of last year. No, November 2nd of last year. And plus, that's kind of got some negative connotation behind it because, it was kind of a crap show. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. But it was the Greatest Royal Rumble was in April of last year, I think. So they're just a little off the mark, I believe. But I don't know if they're going to call it that or not. Greatest Backlash. And Backlash, for sure, when it comes to this story. Listen. Joe, I think Goldberg will come back on Raw in preparation for the show in June, but that's my own take. No, Daryl, I don't think CM Punk's back. Nothing would surprise me, but I don't think he's going to be back in WWE. I don't know why they're suddenly showing him in highlights and stuff, but I've told you folks what I think. I'm going to tell you right now, if CM Punk comes back and works for that company, I think my days of watching Raw and SmackDown are over. I'll just catch the highlights on YouTube. I'm just saying, the guy, they fired the guy on his wedding day. If you come back from that and go back to the same company, dude, what? Yeah, I would have a massive problem with that. Daniel asking about record low ratings for the abomination that was Raw and not a very good SmackDown. Vince ruined the War Raiders. So, there's two sides of the coin when it comes to this rating story. A very well-known wrestling podcast and website that you guys all are aware of, spit it out, Tom, the Wrestling Observer, making a huge deal about the ratings. Other people making just of a huge deal about the ratings don't matter anymore because people don't watch TV the way they used to. Here's my thing. That's your take. That's your take. Listen, folks, I'm sorry to keep preaching all the live long day, but here goes Pastor Tom, all right? Pull up a pew and listen. Just because it's your take doesn't mean you're right, okay? You know who's right? People in the company, the way they view it. What do they see? You can tell me what you think they see. How do you know? Did you talk to someone? Did you interview someone? How do you know, okay? I can sit here all day long and tell you what I think. I could be wrong about every bit of it, okay? Or you could be wrong about everything you think as well, all right? That's the beauty and the torment of this business, being on this end of this business, folks, is that I can give you my analysis, I can give you my opinion, I can give you what I think. At the end of the day, I could be dead wrong about every single solitary bit of it. I don't think I am, and a lot of times I end up being right. Yay for me. But, dude, when it comes to the nuts and bolts of how this company works behind the scenes, you're going to sit there and tell me that you know? How do you know unless you're behind the scenes, okay? I don't know what that company's major focus is. It seems like it's money, money, money. Mr. Krabs is running the show, folks. It's the truth. And that's fine. If you're not in the business to make money, you're in the business for the wrong reasons. You could talk to me about honor and glory and championships and old school, and I love that talk. But if you can't turn a profit, you're not going to be in business very long. You might actually damage the product more than you help it. Think about that, okay? So I don't fault them for wanting to make money, but it seems to be that's all they care about. If ratings are tied directly to money, then yes, they care about ratings. If ratings affect their stockholders, affect their stock prices, affect what they think is the most important bottom line to that company, then yes, ratings matter to WWE. If they don't affect anything, then no, Vince McMahon doesn't care. That's my easy answer to that. Or uneasy, as it were. I know that's a roundabout way of getting to the point, dude, but that's just the way I look at it, man. We could sit back all day and debate, yell and scream and curse and call each other names, and everyone does it seems like, for some weird reason. But it does not mean that you're going to be right, okay? Straight up, you're not going to be right. And every time I turn around, someone's got something snarky to say about a podcast, a show, or whatever. It's okay to have your opinion, and I don't have a problem with that. You want to be snarky? Be snarky. But because you're snarky and you're a little smart mouth doesn't make you right. No more than it makes me right. I'm just saying. Preaching over right now. Jeez Louise. I mean, I can't promise it won't come back. Amen, past collection plate. Miss Lopez is bringing some sanity back to the show. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for hanging out. Washington. Rick Grimes, nice. That's cool. Thank you, Jen. Enrique, best name ever next to Montrese. Montrese, you have a competitor for best name ever because Enrique is here. What's up, my friend? What's up, Orlando? God bless. Well, freak, man. Now Orlando's chiming in with the best name. We've got three great names. We've got Montrese, Enrique, and Orlando. Meanwhile, I'm Tom. Hear that snort? That's a snort of indifference, folks. I was named after my grandfather, so I don't hate the name. But it's not Orlando, is it? And it's certainly not Enrique. Jeez. Anyway. Ray, what's up? Hello to Ray. I see Jason. There you go. Jason's chiming in with ratings don't matter. Jason, that's your view. And it's fine to have that view. And you might be right. But guess what, dude? You might be wrong. Ronnie? Wrestling Rumors, huh? Yeah, Wrestling Rumors. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't name the page, dude. This is Tom Clark's main event. Yeah, we're talking about rumors. Rumors are that some people have to be snarky all the time. That's a rumor. How about that? Ambrose. Tim once again to Ambrose. Man, we've not even touched on the Saudi Arabia show. Hey, Scott, what's up? So, how are we feeling? Brian's coming back, by the way. Brian supposedly is okay. So we went from being all kinds of worried about Brian to all of a sudden, the rumor is, the scuttlebutt, as it were, is that he's okay. He's coming back. Yay. Like, I'm happy, but I'm a little confused. I'm a little puzzled because I thought the worst because no one was talking anywhere to anybody. WWE wasn't talking. Daniel wasn't talking. Brie wasn't talking. No one was talking. And then all of a sudden, he's okay. I'm glad. I'm thankful. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a little surprised. Thank you, Jose. Yes way, Jose. So, I don't know. Listen, you guys know how I feel about the Saudi Arabia thing. It's a paycheck. WWE's backing the money bus up, or Jeddah is, and the Sultan, who is the guy? The prince, the crown prince, dude. Money. Okay, Mr. Krabs in full effect, man. I'm telling you right now. After what happened to Jamal Khashoggi last year, Saudi Arabian journalist that was murdered, and CIA proved that the Saudi government ordered the assassination on this journalist because he was just speaking his truth. Because he was critical of the Saudi Arabian government. Guess what? Done. I got a problem with that. Okay? The fact that we don't have a problem with that, I have a problem with that. And I also have a problem with the fact that WWE continues to do business with this corrupt government. Of course, they're also in bed with the corrupt president that we have now. Excuse me for, speaking the truth, but that's how I feel, folks. but money, money, money all the time. And again, I don't fault them for wanting to turn a profit and for making money. Make all the money. I don't care. But it's blood money they're taking from Saudi Arabia. My view. Blood money, okay? You ain't got to agree with me. It's perfectly fine, man. Perfectly fine. At the end of the day, maybe you'll be right and I'll be wrong. But I'm passionate about this. I can't help it, dude. It's how I feel. It's blood money coming from the Saudi Arabian government. They ought to be ashamed of themselves for taking it. It's how I feel. But it's pro wrestling business. Having said that, it's Vince McMahon. They do all kinds of wacky stuff that you don't agree with, that you look at and say, oh, what are they doing? And it's a head slapper. It's WWE. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You going to cry? I'm not going to cry. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, anyway, money talks. Yeah, only reason Bill Goldberg is coming back. Andy, you make a point. I'm not going to say you're wrong, Andy, but I don't know Bill's motivations for coming back because he hasn't said. If he has, I don't see them anywhere, and I've missed them, okay? And I don't know what his true motivations are. Maybe at the end of the day, you'll be right, and it is about the money. I don't know. But maybe it's about the opportunity to work Undertaker, which is, I think, what we're going to see at this show. I think we'll see Goldberg versus Undertaker. That's my opinion. I don't know where it's going to happen or not, but that would be, if they could talk him into coming back, and we're going to throw this money at you. Bill's going to be like, I got money. Well, you can work Taker. Bill's going to be like, I think I'm there. And he's there. He's there. You see? You may be right, dude. I don't know. But if I'm guessing, I think that's what did it. Thank you, Robbie. Like you say, your opinion. I'm not bashing him, Tim. I just think he's a corrupt idiot who's got no business being president. But that's just me talking. My opinion, as you say, yay, we all have them. It's great. So, Stefan, thank you for wrapping it up. You're completely right. Hope everyone over there goes over there and is safe. Absolutely. Please come back safe. Totally. I'm completely with you on that front. Couldn't agree more. The women won't be in the ring as far as we know. I was asked that yesterday by somebody. As far as we know, the women will not be booked in the ring. So says the Saudi Arabian government. Okay? So, whatever. There again, WWE, you can get mad at WWE all day long. Or excuse me, the Saudi Arabian government. WWE is the one going over there, man. Come on. Right? They're the one agreeing to this nonsense. I said, well, Tom, they're making headway now. And they're establishing a good rapport with the government over there. Great. Whatever. But listen, at the end of the day, if they can get women in the ring, a lot of people are going to call it a victory for WWE. People like me are going to be, ha, Tom, you're wrong. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. It's still blood money. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Let's see. Washington, who is yelling every time he talks, feels sorry for Dawson having to have his back shaved. How demoralizing. So here's the, I was going to say story. I don't know. Here's the rumored story about the revival. They wanted out. WWE said no. They supposedly have tacked on a couple of months due to Dawson's injury, right? To their contract. And now they got to ride their contract out. And by the way, you're going to shave his back on live television. You don't get mad. Don't get mad. You can sit here all day long and question, why would they do this? How could they do this? What are they thinking? Why would they ever do this? It's not right. It's not fair. It's Vince McMahon, folks. It's WWE, okay? They do whatever they want to do. To them, it makes perfect sense. And you know, at the end of the day, who wastes more time grieving over this? It's not them. It's us, man. It's us. It's fans. Don't grieve over it, man. It's not worth it, okay? You can get upset if you want to, but at the end of the day, I got too much going on in my life to get upset about a pro wrestling company. I just do. I mean, I take it with a grain of salt. You have to. I laugh. I do. I get mad sometimes, but at the end of the day, you got to calm down and just take it for what's worth. It's WWE, man. It's Vince McMahon. What are you going to do? Do I think that Revival's getting the crap end of the stick? Yeah, but how do we know a conversation wasn't had backstage where they're like, look, everyone already thinks you guys want out of here. Everyone already thinks you hate us. We're going to go with this back shaving thing. What do you think about it? How do we know that Dash and Dawson didn't go, dude, this is the funniest thing ever. Let's just do it. Let's screw it. Have fun. How do we even know that wasn't said? We don't know, folks. And again, I have a problem with anyone, whether it's on my side, your side, or whoever, claim it to be the end-all, be-all, know-all authority on this topic or any other topic having to do with pro wrestling if you're not in that company. I will listen to pro wrestling veterans who have been in the ring a lot quicker than I'll listen to someone like me. And I'm not suggesting you don't watch the show. Thank you for watching the show. You guys are awesome. All right? But I'm just saying, understand that this is a conversation between us. This is not me preaching to you and telling you that this is how it is, that this is what life is in pro wrestling, that this is how you should believe, this is how you should feel. When I tell you I think that the guy running the show is a tyrant or whatever show you're wanting to believe it is, that's my take. It doesn't mean it's the truth. It's just how I view it. And you could choose to disagree with me, which is kind of how this works. Thank you, Jose. Miss Lopez said it right there. Dawson is making money. Yeah, making money. Is he upset? I don't know. I haven't asked him. I'd like to. Don't think he'll talk to me because he works for WWE. There you go. Jon Moxley. So, what's up, Brad? Welcome to the show. So, Jon Moxley, the wrestler formerly known as Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe, released a video on his Twitter account. He'd only ever tweeted one time, and I think it was They Made Me Get a Twitter, Enjoy, and it was the Dean Ambrose. And now it's Jon Moxley, at Jon Moxley, because he changed it, and because he's back to, hey, barbed wire, and I get to bleed everywhere, yay. I'm not really looking forward to blood and guts. My apologies. What do they say? If it's live, it was not an accident. This moment of silence brought to you by Tom Clark's Main Event. Woo! I told you the allergies are killing me right now, man. Ambrose is done with WWE, man. He's done. His contract's up. He's gone. And he's now Jon Moxley, as he was before. So, Mox puts out this little video on his Twitter, showing him escaping from a prison. Supposedly, it's metaphor for the prison of WWE. Take that with a grain of salt. I assume that's what it is. And he busts his way out, gets cut up, and says Jon Moxley returns or whatever. And, it's smart on his part. It reminds everyone of who he is, what he could be, what he's been, what he could be in the future. The first thing I thought of when I saw this video, because I heard about it before I saw it, when I watched it, the first thing I thought of was, I wonder who produced that. I wonder who produced it. It wasn't WWE, we assume, right? Because he's done. Could it have been someone in AEW? Sure. Could Dean or Jon, I might get used to this, could Jon have financed this on his own? Sure. By the way, I only call one wrestler Jon, and it's Cena. When you guys hear me say Jon, you know I'm talking about Cena. Now it's going to be double whammy, right? But, did Dean bankroll this thing himself? Sure. It wasn't done on a camera phone, folks. It was done on his iPhone. No matter what anyone says, you had to have a set. You had to have actors. You had to have music. You had to have editing, video editing, multiple cameras. Come on. Someone footed the bill for this. This wasn't free, I assume, right? That was my first question, is who paid for this? Interesting. Listen, Jason. Andrew, listen, man. All right, so you both you guys say you heard that WWE is behind it. Now, Bully Ray said it. Now, I just spoke earlier about taking a veteran's word over anyone else's. I respect Bully Ray's opinion. The guy's done it all in this business. Almost all. He deserves respect. But I asked myself this. WWE spent 9 years, building up the name of Dean Ambrose, the brand. There's t-shirts, programs, merchandise, DVDs, broadcast, WWE Network, Dean Ambrose. A lot of money. They own that name, Dean Ambrose. And now they just let him go back to Jon Moxley, which is a name that he owns. Now, for all we know, Moxley signed over, maybe didn't sign over the name, but signed an agreement to share the name in terms of copyright, profits, and all. I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. Maybe he did. But, guys, I don't... what is WWE's benefit of this? what in the world would make him believe that they could book him any better as Jon Moxley than they could as Dean Ambrose? Because they dropped the ball on that. So he's to believe that, well, if I'm Jon Moxley, they'll do the right thing. What? Come on. It's WWE, man. Ball dropping is what they do. Right? I'm just saying, they're very poor from the free throw line. And just, turn the ball over like crazy. Whatever the sports analogy you want to maintain it. I'm just saying, what would make him believe that they would do any better by him? I'm just asking. Daniel, CM Punk's not coming back to WWE. I don't think. I was convinced he wasn't. And I said earlier, if he does, I'm done. I probably won't be done. It'll just be my little protest for a day or two. No, Russell, stop. You're killing me. I don't think he is. I think he'll come back in some capacity, but I think it will be for AEW. I think that Cody wants to kick off the show with a bang in the fall, which is when they're rumored to go live on TV. And let's be honest, Punk is a coup. Not because they signed him away from anybody, but because his name is CM Punk. Because he's gotten fame outside of pro wrestling. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. There's a difference between wrestling famous and entertainment famous, okay? When you're wrestling famous, all of us know who they are. But try showing a friend a picture of Daniel Bryan. Try showing a friend who's never watched pro wrestling, doesn't follow it. Just anyone from any walk of life, any socioeconomic background, color, race, creed, religion, whatever, who does not follow the sport of pro wrestling. Try showing them a photo of Roman Reigns, even Roman, Seth, Ricochet, Aleister Black. They're going to say, who's this? These guys are wrestling famous. Now, Roman's getting out there. He'll be out there even more when the Fast and the Furious spinoff Hobbs and Shaw hits. Okay? Even more. Show people a picture of The Rock. They're probably going to know who that is. John Cena, maybe at this point, yeah. Hogan, for sure, I would say. Okay? But, there's a difference. CM Punk, I would say more now than there was before. And I think that's what AEW would be hoping for. A little bit more mainstream. And the word mainstream is not bad, folks. It's not a bad word. It's not a four-letter word. Just because WWE took that word and made a four-letter word does not mean that the word mainstream is a negative thing. It doesn't mean that if you cater your product toward a mainstream audience that you're selling out or that you're cheapening your product or your brand. It just means that you want to reach more people and make more money. Nothing wrong with that. It's just all depends on how you do it, okay? We've seen it overdone. We've seen it done to the point of no return. It's WWE, right? It doesn't mean that it can't be done by another company and done better, perhaps. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Earl just asks about a stipulation that he gets creative control. Earl, you might be right. I'm not disputing whether or not you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. But here's my point. Here's my counter to that, Earl, is I believe in 2019, if WWE signed anyone with a stipulation of creative control in their contract, WWE would never allow that to happen. Because they control every freaking thing, period. Okay? Now, you're looking at me and you're saying, well, then how come it's still Adam Cole, baby? How come it's still, Kyle O'Reilly? How come it's still Bobby Fish? How come it's still Robert Roode? How come they have eased up over the years on the name thing. They have, and I'm glad they have. I'm thankful they have, for real. What a deal they have worked out there, I don't know. I think it goes back to, here's so-and-so, and here's his nickname. Okay? Matt Riddle was the King of Bros. Now he's the original bro, because the original bro is owned by WWE. The King of Bros is owned by Matt Riddle, I assume. See what I'm saying? They're going to make their money. Regardless of if they own the name or not, they're going to make their money. But I don't call that creative control. Maybe they do, and maybe I'm dead wrong, but I don't call that creative control, man. Yeah, CM Punk owns his own name from the Indies. Yeah, I would think so, and I would assume he definitely does. He said in the documentary that they did on him when he was still there that he insisted on being CM Punk, and that Paul Heyman insisted he be CM Punk because they didn't want to change his name. They felt it would be doing a disservice to everything he had done before, and it would have been. And we all know who he is anyway, or we would have known because he's wrestling famous. See? That's what I'm saying. Hello, Darren. What's up? Is she gonna? I don't know about Liv there, Darren. Are you a Liv Morgan fan, my friend? She's purty, as they say where I come from. She's purty. But I don't know. Brandy Michelle Stapleton, WWE does not stand for Walk with Elias. He sure thinks so, huh? So what else we got going on? So we've hit on the Lio Rush thing. We hit on Saudi Arabia. Hit on Moxley. We talked a little bit about Punk. What else do you guys like to talk about? Carlos says she's hot. Easy, Carlos. Let's see. Roman and Lars SummerSlam. Interesting. Here's what I'll say about Lars. I don't know what the plans are for Lars Sullivan, but we all assumed, myself included, that Braun Strowman was headed for big things in WWE, and we were all right to a certain extent, to a certain point. Then we're all dead wrong at the end of the day because Braun Strowman is a spoiler, and I've said this before on the program. Someone will steal it from me, I'm sure, eventually. But Braun is a spoiler in that company. He can spoil a babyface or spoil a heel. He's the roadblock. He's the test. You got to get past him to get to where you're going. And he's the distraction. He's not world champion, and I don't think he's going to be world champion. I could be wrong. I doubt it. It's just me talking, folks. Is Lars Sullivan going to be grouped into that category? The same category that Braun is in right now, where Lars has the look. He's got power, intensity, charisma, the freakish strength, but he can talk. My God, he can talk, okay? But at the same time, is he going to be pigeonholed as just the big, nasty Jack Kirby monster heel? I don't know. If he is, then yes, they'll feed him to Roman Reigns. But if he's got more in the tank than that, they want to do more with him, I don't know what's going to happen for SummerSlam. That means that he could possibly beat Roman Reigns, okay? I don't know what's going to happen. I think that the moment they turn him babyface, he becomes goofy and starts dancing with probably a lady wrestler. And I love R-Truth. That's R-Truth's gimmick, and it works for him. But look at the history of big men in that company, with the exception of Braun. They took the big men and they just made them circus clowns because that's what they do. I think they do that in a heartbeat with Lars Sullivan. I hope I'm wrong, but we've seen it too many times before to be wrong about the assumption now. That's what I'm saying. WWE needs to stop the Firefly Funhouse as the worst thing they've done. Well, Darren, listen, man. Here's my comeback to that. Wait and see how it goes. Don't dismiss it before it even gets off the ground. That's like hearing you read one review of a film and say the critic says this is terrible, and you're like, well, I'm not going to go see that. Screw it. It's one guy, or even if it's multiple, dude, go see for yourself. I've seen movies before that the critics roasted, and I was like, it's not that bad. And I've also seen movies the critics loved. I'm like, this sucked. So, you know what I mean? It's personal taste. That's another great thing about being a pro wrestling fan. My personal taste may not be your personal taste. You know what I mean? It's open for interpretation. For real. It's very subjective. This whole thing is very subjective. How you feel, how it hits you. A lot of times, what you feel and how you think about the business of pro wrestling is how it hits you on a certain day. Some days a promo hits you the right way. Other days you're like, God, I've seen this so many times. Just shut up. I'm telling you, man, it's personal preference. I mean, that's the best thing. That's why there's people that love heels, because they just want to love heels because they want to be smart. And there's some people that love heels because, it's just on a certain day they hit them a certain way and they're like, oh, God, I love that guy. And other days they can't stand him. It's just so subjective. It's so back and forth, man. It really depends on your point of view. I mean, it's the truth. Let's see. Jim says that WWE is going to ruin it. Jim, I'll agree with you. I agree that I think that's entirely possible. I don't know if they're going to ruin it or not. I will tell you this, Jim, to your point. WWE tends to ruin a lot of good ideas. We can both agree on that. I think we can all agree on that. A lot of times the performers are doing nothing wrong. They've done nothing wrong. They're going to do nothing wrong. It's WWE that ruins it. Let's just be honest. So, Jim, you got a point there. Whether or not it will be ruined, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. I'm willing to give it a chance. Now, get it on TV and have it flop, and I'll say, ugh, this probably wasn't a good idea. I don't know, man. Let's just all wait and see. Did AJ sign a new contract? AJ Styles? The rumor was yes. That was, how long ago was that? I don't know. Supposedly signed one several months ago, and he came out on Twitter and was like, I did. Like he didn't, right? So, but then the news broke again later on that he did, and I don't think he disputed it. I think that maybe he has, but I can't say for sure. I would guess so. Oh, Jason, yeah, for sure. I have no doubt. Well, I got people, Jason, that show up and just says all kinds of weird stuff just to be mean. It's okay. I grew up a fat kid. I've encountered all kinds of bullies in my time, and guess what? They don't scare me. These idiots don't scare me either. So, sign a 5-year deal, Earl says. Okay, there you go. Jeff says he's bored of the face Miz. I'm going to tell you something. Miz keeps getting slammed. And see, dude, there again, that's back to what we said before about your point of view. People are hating on the Miz. But I got to tell you something. The other night, who did he brawl with on SmackDown? Was it Shane again when he went at him? Was it Shane? When he was just kind of like throwing a flurry and they were kind of running it by bumping into each other. It kind of felt like a real confrontation. I thought he was great. Man. Like, I had no problem with that at all. I think that when Miz turns off the personality, I'm the Miz, when he does that thing and he's looking at you like that, that's a character. That's not him, folks. It's not him. Turn that off. Here's the problem. I don't know if Miz can turn it off. He's so accustomed to doing it. He flips the switch the moment he hits that ramp, and before, I'm sure. The moment he hits it, he's flipped the switch and he's the Miz. But, like, drop it. Drop it sometimes. He's the most compelling when he's talking like himself. Same thing with Roman. Same thing with a lot of guys. Now, let's be honest. Some guys, as himself, you might say, guy's a little boring. Like, no offense to him, but I like the character much better. Not for Miz, not for me. I think he's at his most real at his best when he's the most real. When he's speaking from the heart. Like, if his wife is being threatened or someone's talking smack about his family or his dad. Dude, I think that's when he shines. And I think, to WWE's credit, that's what they're trying to do, is pull out that side of him. To WWE's credit, I'm not going to slam the company all the time, folks. I'm just saying. I think they've got the best of intentions here. Whether or not it's succeeding, again, your point of view. Whether or not you love it or hate it. Wade says Miz can work heel or face. He's one of the few, like Rollins, who are gifted to play both sides. Yeah, I agree with you totally. Miss Lopez says Miz is a great heel and face. He knows how to work his character. I agree with that. I just wish sometimes he would drop it and just, work to the crowd or work in the moment. Don't always feel like you have to be that guy. You know what I mean? Stefan, I've watched. It's been in the background noise as I've been doing something else on TV. He's less in character on that show than he is on WWE programming. So yeah, it's better. I don't really watch reality TV, man. So I watch pro wrestling because it's not reality TV. So anyway, spoiler alert. See, Roman is slipping back to the robotic, stoic Roman that we were booing. Jim got a point, man. Is the honeymoon wearing off? I don't mean honeymoon as a joke, but Roman's feel good return, is it wearing off? It's a good possibility. Ray wants to talk about Finn Balor. Ray, what you want to talk about Finn Balor there, buddy? Let's hear it. Finn, and Joe's chiming in with Finn and Drew McIntyre. McIntyre is, I said this 6 months ago, McIntyre is the future. I think that he could be WrestleMania main event. I know he could, okay? I think Drew's missing something. Whether it's a mouthpiece, I say, and listen, we talked about this Paul Heyman thing till we're blue in the face, yes? If you're going to put Paul with somebody, put him with Drew. I mean, just put him with Drew. Just, But here's the thing. In my humble opinion, I think they're willing to give Paul Heyman that much. This much. And that's it. This much. Want to know why? Because I believe, and I don't know if you can call it bitterness or hard feelings, I think there's still some stuff behind the scenes between the McMahon family and Paul Heyman. Now, it's not a conspiracy theory, folks. It's just my own opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Perfectly fine. But I still think there's something there, even if it's just a scoosh of something there between him and them that's going to keep them from booking him to the moon as an on-air personality. Now, that's my take. In my humble opinion, I don't know that Paul Heyman wants to be on the road as much as it would require if he were managing 2 to 4 guys. Okay? That's another opinion. All right? It's my take. But let's say he were, and he was available. If that's been the case this whole time and they've not used him, there's a reason why. He's so good on the mic. He could get talent over. Why wouldn't you use that? Because they don't want to use him. They'll use him that much, and that's all they're going to give him. That's my view on it. So, who's going to win Money in the Bank briefcase? I'll go with Jim. I'll go with Drew. Sure. Darren says, I see the hardcore title come back. Darren, I would not. I'm not a fan of hardcore wrestling. That's just me talking. But that's what you're into, man. It's all good from here. But yeah, Paul, dude, yeah, for real, man. Drew just cuts an ominous shadow. It's like Batman doesn't ever need to talk. Batman just has to stand there and just be all Batman. You know what I'm saying? That's Drew. Drew's Batman of WWE, dude. He just stands there and you're like, holy crap, I'm done. I'm going to jail now, right? Just imagine that. It's like, there he is. The Scottish Batman. Anyway, yeah, so that he just casts an ominous shadow, man. And like, yeah, so he doesn't need to talk at all. You're 100% right on that. Toby, you're still shouting. Which belt does Becky lose first and win? I'd like to see Becky hold the titles for a long freaking time. I sure don't want to see Lacey Evans win the title. That's just me. I'm not going to buy into that because Becky's telling you that she doesn't deserve it, because that's all storyline. The belt is the belt. It is what it is. My point is, I don't think Lacey's that good in the ring. I've said that here on the show. If I could interview her, I would respectfully say a lot of fans feel that you have not come as far as perhaps others in your position are in the ring. Do you feel it's because you've not been given enough time to prove yourself, or because maybe you still have some work to do to get better? Because that's how I feel. I'm not saying she's awful, but I'm saying that I've seen a lot better than her in the ring, and I don't think she ranks among the best in the women's division. I don't think she's anywhere close. Sasha supposedly is coming back, folks. I wouldn't be surprised if she won, but I would kind of be surprised at the same time, to be straight with you, because she kind of took her ball and went home, as they say. But they've talked her into coming back. She's calmed down. You know, she caught grief over, and I just said what I said about the title's not, title is what it is. And that's, I 100% believe that, folks. I do. But at the same time, here's what I'm going to tell you about Sasha. We get upset when wrestlers don't take this stuff seriously. Sasha took it seriously. I don't know how you hate on her for taking it seriously. You can, I guess, and go with God, I suppose. But in my humble opinion, I don't know how you hate on Sasha Banks for taking this stuff seriously. We all do, don't we? Right? I don't know. Toby, it's cool, man. It's all good. Lacey character is odd. Southern Belle, too aggressive. Jamie, it is odd in 2019, right? Whoever thought that WWE would do this? Of course, whoever thought that WWE would do an undead mortician in the 1980s? Of course, it was gimmick time in WWE, right? I'm not comparing Taker with Lacey. I'm just saying, you leave it up to that company to do. They'll do anything. They don't care. I mean, they just don't care. I think there's a level of arrogance that exists in WWE at this point, and I think the arrogance starts with the letter V and ends with the letter M, and that's all you need to know about that. Barry says, why is WWE pushing Corbin? He sucks in the ring. Barry, just be honest and tell us how you feel, man. I'm not a fan of Baron Corbin either, so a lot of other people are not. But I'll tell you this, if people keep bashing Corbin, like me, I may end up actually siding with the guy. Because more often than not, I end up siding with the guy. That's the truth. It's the truth. But I'll say this for Corbin. He's keeping his head up, man. Like, he's not letting it get to him. He's on TV every week, okay? And he's still rolling. It doesn't mean he's doing a good job, because he's not. But at the same time, can't hate the guy for staying with it. He's supposed to feel bad because other guys better than him aren't getting that shot? What? Have you ever been in a situation in your workplace where maybe you got ahead of somebody else that maybe deserved it more than you do? You're going to look behind you and say, you should really have this job, bro. You should take it. No, you're not. Shut up. Shut up. Just like someone that moves ahead of you, if you deserve it more than them, they're not going to come back and give you any kind of charity. Come on. It's kill or be killed, man. It doesn't mean I agree with it. Understand that when it comes to Baron, okay? Doesn't mean I agree with it. It's just, I'm just mean that's just how it is. Boring Corbin. Oh my God, that's perfect. Has anyone done that, Jim? Has anyone said that? Did I miss something on Raw Monday where maybe they said it? Boring Corbin. Oh my God, that's awesome. James says, I love to see Banks win the title. She's the best female wrestler they have. James, there you go. It's your opinion, man. A lot of people feel that way too. Do you think there's any truth to Vince paying big money to see him? No, I don't, Jeremy. But as we've said multiple times here on the show, including today, we could all be right or wrong depending on what day it is. I don't see him coming back to WWE. I see him coming back, but not to that company. When it says Baron Corbin is just rolling with his job and doing what's expected of him, he respects him for that. Well, there you go. I do too, actually. Herbie, listen. If you hate Baron's doing his job well, listen, Herbie. All right, Herbie brings up a good. Thank you, Herbie, for saying this. It's a great name, by the way. I'm not kidding. I like the word name Herbie. So, here it is. Great point. Is it all right? So you hate Baron Corbin. That means he's doing his job. For some, yeah. Some people straight up hate him because he's heel. I get that. He's made them hate him. So yeah, I get that too. Totally get that. I do. And I get how it would influence anyone's way of thinking. It's influenced me, just as I'm sure it's influenced you. And probably will again at some point. But when I look at him, I don't see a compelling heel. I don't see a guy that's very good in the ring. I see a guy that they make excuses for, and then they cover up his body, and they cut his hair, and they do all this other stuff to get him to that beast mode. I don't think Baron has a beast mode. I think he's competent enough to get his way through a match. I don't believe, my humble opinion, he didn't have a good match with AJ Styles. Brother, how you going to have a bad match with AJ Styles? A lot of you people believe AJ's best in the world. On any given day, I do too. You're going to have a bad match with AJ Styles? AJ Styles could carry a Mitsubishi to a good match. That's the truth. But Baron couldn't have a good match with him. It's just a point. I'm just saying. He can't have good matches with the best talents in that company. He's not a good worker. Sorry. I don't hate the guy at all. I hate what they're doing with him. And I hate the fact that he's not what they believe he is. When Seth Rollins was heel, I never talked like that about Seth. Want to know why? Seth could get it done. Okay? Heel or babyface. I never talked that way about AJ. Why? Because he can get it done. Baron can't get it done. It's just me. Just me. Mark says you think most of the characters are boring, starting to lose interest. Man, a lot of people are. People are turning the channel, dude. The ratings are reflecting that. I'm just saying. So, see, Christopher says Baron should get back to NXT. But what would they do with him there? He's still the same Baron Corbin. This is not a matter of he's got so much potential, Tom. He's so good in the ring, but they just don't know what they're doing with him. I think we've seen what Baron's capable of. I don't think there's any more left with Baron. And, I always say the words no disrespect intended. Baron would take huge disrespect to that and probably call me all kinds of names. He'd call me a mark, first of all. That's fine. I'm a fan. I'm a mark. That's cool. We all are, right? He was, to a certain extent. Maybe he still is. And he'd probably call me a lot worse names than that. And that's fine, too. He's living the life. I'm not, right? Again, two different ways of looking at this, folks. I can't presume to tell you I know 100% that I'm right and that he's wrong, or the vice versa, whatever. He's living it. I'm not. So how do I know? I'm just telling you from a distance, I think we've seen the best that Baron Corbin has, and I'm not very impressed with it. Mark, hey, Mark, that's awesome. Great comeback. You win. Tom Clark main event. No prize of the week, folks. Watch the mail. It's on the way. Let's see. Thank you, Nelson. Most of my WWE shirts don't fit now because I'm no longer 2X. I'm XL now. Which, by the way, I've plateaued on my weight, dude. I might start doing something extra like exercising. I don't look forward to that. I mean, it's probably going to start off just walking. I'd like to get to the point where I can jog eventually. Maybe I'll get to that point. So I'm going to try to get off my butt and do it. But on my, when I have a day off from my actual job, the other job, then I spend it doing this. I sit down, I write, and I got NWA on my TV right now. By the way, if you guys have not checked out the Fight app to watch the NWA Crockett Cup, please do yourself a favor and go watch it. Please go watch it. It is so good. It is the most the most fun, rewind, it's the most fun I've had at a show in a long time. And me and my sidekick, my 10-year-old son, we've been going to shows for a while now, but we've been on a string of events since the fall of last year. For my money, this was the most fun I've had at a show so far, and the best show that we've seen together in person live to this point. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I love the NWA. I love it. I adore it. I grew up with it. I mean, it's a childhood thing for me. And a lot of the NWA stuff definitely holds up after 50 years or whatever it's been now. Folks, it's just a great time to be a pro wrestling fan. We've said that multiple times here on the show, of course. Go back and watch NWA Crockett Cup. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. The Fight app, F-I-T-E. Fight like you mean it. There's a Firefly Funhouse t-shirt. I might have to go with that. I'm going to get the Usos shirt, man. I'm going to tell you right now, the next time WWE does the buy one, get one deal on WWEshop.com, I'm getting the Usos shirt because that thing's bad, dude. And I do black. I don't do any other color. It's all black, baby. You know? So, you know what they say? Once you go black, that's all you wear. I say it. What? Don't make fun of that. My whole closet, sick with black. I mean, it's just you open the door, black. I'll show you sometime. It's fun. George, are you 4XL? My God, George is not messing around, dude. George will crush every one of us. I don't mean that bad. I'm saying like, raw. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I've known guys before who were stout, who were wearing 3 and 4X, man, and they were not, you could call them fat if you wanted to, but dude, they were tall and they were like freaking, and not ripped, but just stout. You know what I'm saying? I knew guys in the business who were, and you look at them, I knew one of the guys that we had was, I'm 6'3", okay? If you guys never ever tell you that, I'm 6'3". I knew a guy we had in our business in our company was 6'5" or 6'6", 340, and he carried it like he was 180. Like, that's just his big frame, dude. He just carried it so well. You know what I mean? So, well, you know what I say to that? I say that if you're happy, what do you care about? Don't care about what anybody else thinks. If you're happy, be happy. Go with God. I don't care. Be happy. All right? I can tell you this. I got up to 281, to 282 again from way down. And I was disgusted with myself. So I dropped down to 231, which is where I'm at now. I want to drop 30 more pounds. I want to get down to 200. That's the goal. Because I'm not happy. You see what I'm saying? You got to be happy, folks. If you're happy with 4X, do it. Keith Lee, Danny, great point. Keith Lee, a guy that carries his weight extremely well. And does amazing stuff in the ring for a guy his size. Kind of like Joe. First time I ever saw Joe, I said, this has got to be CGI. How is this guy doing this right now? Like, he can't be this big and be this quick on his feet. This is insane. Dusty had a lot of that too. You guys know that, right? Crazy. Christopher, preach, man. There you go. Kill shot is Shane Strickland. Yes. Shane Strickland's going to NXT. So we saw Shane at the Evolve show in Concord a few months ago. He had a good match with AR Fox. They did a little bit too much of the hey flip dippity doo stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. There's strokes for everybody, right? But a little bit too much, in my opinion. Still a good match though. And man, Shane stood out as well. And I gave the review of the show here on this show after we got back because I told you folks then, and I say it now. You could the real stars of the event really jumped out at you. You could tell from a distance who the real stars were, and he was definitely a real star. So I'm not surprised at all that he's in WWE now. So yes, he can, Chris, for real. Toby says first live event, Flair and Orndorff for the NWA title. God, Toby, I'm jealous, man. That's awesome. Glacier from WCW is in AEW. Yes, he is, Herbie. He is backstage as an agent, I believe. Yeah. Sonata and Okada. Jeff, I can't wait for Sonata and Okada. That's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to that match for sure. I got to catch up on the New Japan stuff, by the way, from the show from last night. Yep. And Garza Jr., absolutely. Can't wait to see him. Bam Bam, best big guy of all time. Barry, I would say you're probably up there with your summation. Bam Bam was one of a kind, man, for sure. I can't argue that. Jason said, time's up. Yep, you're right, man. It's 1:06, isn't it? We've gone an hour. And I only went through like 2 cough drops. I'm impressed with myself. And I didn't like gag my head off the entire time. So that was cool. All right, folks. So I think that's the time we got for you today. Before we split, I'm going to remind you about the last episode 135, the Darren Young interview. Please go check it out. Tell me what you think. I may post it here on the page again at some point so you guys can see the link and look at it and stuff. Please, I'm asking everyone watching right now, all 72 of you, okay? If you've not subscribed to my show on iTunes, please go do so. Just look up Tom Clark's Main Event. You can't miss it. Please go subscribe to my show. It'd be greatly appreciated, okay? You can follow my work on WrestlingRumors.net, of course, ProWrestling.com, The Floor Seat, and TheChairShot.com. I've got other stuff in the works. Got some other things happening that I'll be announcing very soon. I'm very excited about that. I think that's all I got for you, man. Please go give us a follow. If we are not friends, thank you, Miss Lopez. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. If we're not friends on Facebook, send me a message in Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger, and I'll send you a friend request. Or you can just send me a friend request, and I'll accept. How's that sound? Follow me on Twitter at Tom Clark Writes, WRITS. And as always, check me out online, boinkstudios.com. That's all I got for you, man. Let's get out of here and enjoy the rest of the day. There's a sunshine out there. You can't see it because I got a blanket over the window, man. Because I'm an inside person. But it's time to enjoy the sunshine. So what we're going to do when I sign off, I'm going to sit in this chair and watch some wrestling. So you go enjoy the sunshine and tell me how awesome it is, okay? And then we could talk about later how I'm leading a very sheltered existence in this cave of an office. That's all I got for you, man. We're out of here. Thanks for hanging. We'll see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.